What evil plan brings you out during morning traffic, Hazardo? What is that huge laser device for?
Oh, this? It's a little project I call the Pure Evilator. Feel the blast of my evil laser, safety man. This will turn you evil, so you will become my accomplice instead of my enemy.
Hazardo! Nothing can penetrate my super skin. Watch out! The laser's going to ricochet and hit you! Hazardo, are you all right?
Ouch. Well, that was one doozy of a shockaroo to the system.
Hazardo?
Good golly, safety man. I think when the Pure Evilator beam hit me in the old noggin, it somehow took my evilness, and instead of making me evil, it canceled the evil right out of me. Gosh, and gosh again. I'm so good now, I can't even think of a decent curse word.
I don't believe you, Hazardo.
I'm not kidding. I can't even think of one single naughty word. Is it bad to say spelunking?
I meant I don't believe you are now a good person.
Hey, I am filled with a feeling of goodness, and I just want to be everybody's pal. Listen, I have a bunch of tacos in the Hazardo. I was going to hand them out to drivers so they would eat them while driving and be more dangerous. But forget that. How about we share a taco?
No! If you are so good now, let me test you. While driving down a residential street, there are a group of kids playing down the block.
Those little rascals, they sound adorable.
You've been scanning the road, both ahead and behind you. Kids are unpredictable, and they don't always play by the rules. Now you must anticipate what will happen. Can you identify potential hazards?
What if a child runs into the street? Or what if there's another driver coming towards me while those little angels are zipping around the same way cinnamon swirls around in a hot vanilla latte? I have a latte in the Hazardo. You want a sip?
What about the kids?
I should approach slowly and always have an out. Use friendly gestures in a non-threatening way in case there's another driver coming my way to let him or her know it's my pleasure to give them the right-of-way. I could even pull into someone's yard if it helps avoid a collision with a child, and then I would stay and replant any grass my tires tore up, and maybe even help them trim their hedges.
You mean to tell me you would not show the kids some horrible driving habits and tell them to drive dangerously when they grow up because it's cool to be a wild child on the road?
Never! Hopping ginger snaps. What a horrible thought, safety man. Do you like meat? There's a butcher shop about a block away. Let me go order you some nice steaks.
Hazardo, I don't know what you're up to, but I'm not buying it.
I can only have good, safe, and friendly thoughts now. I used to have terrible plans to cause collisions and encourage bad driving, but now if I'm on a residential street or highway, I think how important it is to constantly watch in front and behind, be aware of potential problems, predict how others will react, and decide on the proper course of action. And if somebody still has their holiday decorations up and it's February, it sure would be swell to knock on their door and volunteer to take those pretty blinking lights down and sculpt their trees into the shapes of hearts and little cupids shooting arrows.
Now come on! What if when you want to change lanes to the empty lane on your right, and the driver 2 lanes over decides he wants to change into that open lane too at the same time? Then what would you do?
If I'm constantly scanning, I can predict this event before I started my lane change, so that if it actually happens, I will already know what I'm going to do to avoid a collision. I would give him the right-of-way, and then maybe follow the other driver to their exit.
And run them off the road for being in your way? Wouldn't you like to run them off the road, Hazardo? Wouldn't you?
Jiminy Cricket, safety man. How do you sleep having such horrible thoughts? I'd follow them to make sure they arrive safely, since they are obviously too distracted to drive correctly. Tonight before you go to bed, call me, and I'll sing you a lullaby to help you doze off.
Ugh. What if there's a truck in front of you carrying cargo, which may not be secure and could fly out?
Oopsie. There goes the sofa. Actually, anyone hauling furniture or equipment like ladders and tools are a threat, because these items can fall out suddenly. Or in a collision, many times objects can be knocked loose and end up on the road. Running over a loose item may cause punctured tires leading to a blowout, or damage to the undercarriage, resulting in leaking fluids, leaving you stranded. I'd keep a safe following distance, or maybe avoid driving directly behind them. And at a stoplight, I'd pull up next to them and ask if they needed any help moving. You know, if you don't lift the heavy stuff with your legs, you're going to risk some really bad back injury.
What about unexpected dangers, like animals?
Nothing dangerous about having a furry friend with a wet nose. However, animals like deer can suddenly dash in front of your vehicle. And on farms, there are sheep, pigs, cows, and horses that are not only a delight, but they can get loose and end up in the driver's path. Collisions with animals can be deadly because they can end up inside your vehicle, causing severe injury or death. Also, animals are huge threats that have a low center of gravity, and that can cause your vehicle to flip over. Also, trying to avoid a collision with an animal often causes a collision with other vehicles nearby.
So you wouldn't want to let them loose to run out in traffic and cause lots of collisions?
I'd like to just get every loose animal and make a big petting zoo and have me as the only visitor. Oh wow, I realize I have a scone in my utility belt. Here, you take it.
What about a weaving car, a pedestrian that is not looking, a distracted driver next to you?
By training myself to always be spotting threats, I'll always have more time to make smart decisions and create an alternate plan before an emergency happens. Plus, in many cases, I can make eye contact and give them a big smile. You know, smiles are contagious, and if just one person would smile and the next person passed that smile on and the chain was never broken, we could have a day where the whole world was smiling, and that could end up being the cause of world peace, or at least a global day of happiness.
Hazardo! I get it. I guess I'm convinced. It is going to be different not having a bad guy around anymore.
Ooh, that's so sad. You miss having me be the bad guy?
Well, I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to do now.
I feel like I'm going to get all misty now. Would you like another scone?
No.
Gee willikers. How about I book you a massage?
No!
What about this then?
Hazardo!
Ouch! That spelunking thing needs to be beat with a club till it cries uncle. What a piece of ever-loving junk!
Watch your language, sir.
I'm back, safety man, and I will speak as I please. That was the worst 3 minutes of my life. Are you nice and good people like that all the time? It's awful!
You can learn a lesson from the nice Hazardo.
Yeah, like how to curtsy while kissing a baby seal in a field of kale? Yuck! My pure evil-lator may have backfired on me, safety man, but I still have my tacos. Who wants a taco?
Hazardo, get away from traffic.
Just try and stop me. And give me back my scone.